Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN television news. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
Imagine having the home of your dreams. Imagine investing in that piece of property you can call your own. Imagine finally doing that home improvement project you've always been thinking about. It's time to stop imagining and start doing. Let the GUT Credit Union help you take the first step with fantastic rates, affordable repayments, and reduced legal fees. Make the move. Get better terms on your mortgage. Use your home equity to make those dreams a reality. Act now. There's really no place like home. GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
This is the GBN television news for today, Monday, March 7th, 2022. I am Beverly Telesford. In the headlines, Spice Mass plans proceeding with strict vaccination mandate. Man in his 50s convicted of capital murder in the death of 15-year-old student 6 years ago. Grenada records a second homicide for 2022 following a three-way altercation between teenagers. And Trenchtown residents outraged over negative stigma of their community. For what's coming in sports and around the globe, let's go to Zia Frederick.
Thank you, Beverly, and good evening, viewers and listeners. I am Zia Frederick, and here's what's coming a little later in the news. Regionally, Jamaica could see more tourists from Ukraine-Russia crisis. And internationally, horrific scenes in battle for Kyiv as families killed, fleeing Russian onslaught. And in sports, Grenadian female basketballer wins divisional championship in the United States. Join me a little later for those stories and more. In the meantime, let's go back to Beverly Telesford.
Thank you, Zia. We'll have the details right after this message.
The first segment of the news comes to you compliments Soft Weave Bathroom Tissue.
Have you heard about the new Soft Weave bathroom tissue with total hygiene? As hygiene and safety have taken center stage, our bathroom tissue is now manufactured with 3 different technologies to offer the best protection for you and your family. UVC light technology for a safe and effective disinfection process, eliminating 99.9% of microorganisms. Also, production at high temperatures, killing all types of germs and bacteria. And it's pH controlled with delicate fibers to prevent irritation for even sensitive skin. Soft Weave Total Hygiene Bathroom Tissue, available in supermarkets and shops island-wide. Visit Soft Weave Caribbean Facebook or Instagram pages for more information.
Good evening. This is GBN's News at 7. The plan for a scaled-down version of Spice Mass, tailored to allow minimum risk of a COVID-19 outbreak, was detailed during Monday's media launch of Spice Mass for 2022. And the plans include a vaccination mandate for all who want to attend. Blossom Alexis Welch begins tonight's newscast.
Everyone must be fully vaccinated in order to participate in Spice Mass 2022 activities, whether as a competitor or a spectator. There will also be some major reshuffling of the days that the major competitions will be held. The announcements were made during Monday's media launch of Spice Mass 2022 by Chairman of the SMC, Arlie Gill.
All of our shows to be held with a mixture of pay-per-view and in-person attendance. And our policy with regards to establishing bubbles for the carnival is that everyone enjoying the venue must be vaccinated. Not just patrons. The sound system people, the production people, the vendors, the competitors, the judges, the police officers. That is what we are asking. You have your vaccination card, bingo, you're in the show. But we do not want to create a system where only patrons. So Calypsonian, soca artists, you know, To enter our competition as of now, you must be vaccinated.
These regulations fall under the corporation's Plan A for the island's major cultural extravaganza. According to Mr. Gill, SMC met and consulted with multiple facets of the community to share plans for Carnival, including religious leaders, political parties, and other stakeholders. One of the major decisions was that there will be no Juve on Carnival Tuesday, but instead, Juve activities will be held in each parish on Carnival Monday.
The Juve is our biggest headache, admittedly. It provides us with the greatest challenge. You cannot ask jab for the vaccination card, and no jab doing rapid tests. So that's just the practical reality of it. You're not, or we don't think it's possible to do Juve in a bubble and put jab in a bubble. Everybody stay in your section. Your section is your parish. For St. Andrew's Paul's Airstrip, they gave us that idea last year. They enjoyed it. We say you can do it a second year. No quarrels. St. Patrick, Sates, have it. We say the bus terminus area, Coconut Row, St. Mark, we say Diamond Street up to the roundabout, and St. David Street and so. St. John, Upper Depredin Street and parts of Lower Depredin Street. St. George's, we'll use the Tantin Ring Road. St. David, Malmont, Big Yard, and Pasture.
He detailed some COVID-inspired changes to the parade of the bands on Carnival Tuesday, which include a vaccination mandate for revelers and onlookers.
So, we want to create a bubble as well for the parade of the bands. And through the GMBA, we have a vaccination policy as well. We'll have one theme, with each participating mass band producing a section using the theme. Yeah? So that's why we said the bands will not be competing among themselves this year.
This year's Fancy Mass Band Parade will be held under one theme, and each band will then produce one section using that theme. SMC board members say they will monitor the pandemic as it is still early in the year, and if the dynamics change, a Plan B version of Spice Mass will be brought to Parliament, which will propose the removal of all regulations. Blossom Alexis Welsh, GBN News.
Dumlin Marie, alias Dumpling, was convicted of capital murder in the death of 15-year-old student Brittany Batiste, who was killed on March 19, 2016. More details in this Chrislina John report.
Just 2 weeks shy of 6 years, the High Court found Demlin Murray guilty of capital murder for the 2016 death of 15-year-old Brittany Batiste. The body of the teenager was found covered in the bushes at Good Hope St. George, close to her home, on March 21, 2016. She was a student of the Happy Hill Secondary School. Demlin, who is married to the sister of the deceased, was arrested and charged for her death. Director of Public Prosecution Christopher Nelson spoke with GBN's news desk earlier today on the outcome of the case.
Last Friday, Demlin Murray, the 50-year-old worker of the General Hospital, was convicted by a 12-person jury of capital murder. This relates to the death of 15-year-old Happy Hill schoolgirl.
The accused has been on remand at the Richmond Hill prison after Senior High Court Judge Justice Paula Guilford declared a mistrial in the case against the then 48-year-old Mardi Gras resident in 2018. A retrial was ordered.
This retrial started on the 10th of February last and concluded last Friday. Now, being convicted of capital murder, the judge has set a sentencing date for the 23rd of May 2022. He faces a maximum penalty, as the name suggests, of death.
The DPP explained further the circumstances that might have led to Brittany's demise.
It is a capital case because the Crown's case was that Brittany Batiste, the deceased, had made a report against Demlin back in 2015 of having sexual intercourse with her, she being under the age of 16. Demlin was arrested in December of 2015 and charged and was before the court awaiting trial on that matter. So the deceased was a witness and the key party in that matter against him. And it was our case that because she made that report and caused him to be charged, he formed the intent to kill her. One, because he was upset, and two, to ensure that the case against him did not go ahead.
The defense was represented by attorney Erica Willis, while the prosecution team was led by Mr. Nelson. According to the DPP, the jury deliberated for about 2 hours before returning their verdict last Friday. 16 witnesses were called. The DPP added that this is the second conviction they have had in a case where a charge of capital murder was laid. The first was against Twilly Joseph, who was convicted in December 2019 for the death of 9-year-old Ariel Bowler. The law was amended in 2012 to create capital and non-capital murder. Preslina John, GBN News.
One teenager is in police custody as officers investigate the weekend slaying of an 18-year-old foreign national in an altercation that left another young man hospitalized. More in this Rena Thomas report.
Charges are expected to be laid by the end of the day on a 19-year-old who is currently in police custody following the stabbing death of 18-year-old Dominic Seals, a Guyanese national who resided at Sendell Street, Granville, St. Andrew. In what has been determined to be the second homicide for the year, information gathered indicates that the now deceased was in an altercation in the area known as Trench Tongue with two other young men. Another 18-year-old Kyle James of Gramba, St. Andrews, was also stabbed during the argument. Eyewitnesses who preferred to remain anonymous recollected what they saw on Saturday night.
I was passing and hearing the youth man telling the next one to behave himself. Behave himself. He keep on telling him to behave himself, but the next one with the cutlass now up him and try to make a grand move on him. But he telling him behave, but he wouldn't behave. So when he could not take it no more, he fire a stab behind the youth man.
Just hear somebody saying behave on yourself, and that's all I hear. Next thing I just see a crowd run. I ain't see what happened, I just hear all the behave, that's all.
Residents of Trench Tongue are saddened by what happened.
Up to today, I still tight about that. Because you had big people around here. Could have stopped what happened. Everybody did, they don't want to see nothing. You have people they could have avoid that, no blood in that shit. They could have put a little boy just as me if I was around. And nobody do nothing like that. So it's sad that the little boy lose his life. Sorry for the last, but it happened.
To be truthful, I didn't really looking for that to happen to this two youth, because if you watch the phone picture with them, you will see two of them sit down in class. A very long time they have that talk. You tell them forget that, you always talking to them each and every day, we talking to them. I don't know what lead to that they end up in that incident the night. One die and one kill.
The mother of the deceased declined an interview on Monday morning, saying she is too emotionally broken over the loss of her only son. The mother of the teenager in hospital declined to speak. Grenada's first homicide victim is 79-year-old John Merchant and 7-year-old Kelly Daniel from Pearl St. Andrew. Mr. Merchant was brutally murdered and dismembered in February, and parts of his body placed in buckets, which were later found in the nearby Dunfumbling River. Investigation continues into the death of the 18-year-old, and GBN will continue to give you information as it unfolds. Standing in Trenchtown, I am Rena Thomas reporting.
Meanwhile, the community of Trenchtown is outraged with the way they believe the public perceives and brands them as criminals when they are only young men trying to make a life for themselves and their families. Here's Rena Thomas once again.
Residents of Trenchtown say members of the public have a misconception about the community, especially following last Saturday's stabbing that left one young man dead, another hospitalized, and another in police custody. Referencing a recent newspaper article that labeled the area as drug-infested, they expressed their disgust as they claim they are seen by the police, the media, and other members of the public as troublemakers when this is not so.
This thing, what all they did was unjust. trying to get a party, it's what the media put out. But what happened? The incident happened. It's not no gang related in neither. It's maybe you could say friends, and well, they was friends, and they had a little altercation, and it led out to one person dying.
Basically, the media just label us very bad. The government don't backing us up in no. Even watching us, they only criticize us and uphold us as drugs lord and violence king. The government, nobody don't really studying us in the back here. All they could say is we selling drugs and we like violence. So mean as something happen, they wouldn't come and find out what happened, they would just say things.
The police too, they play no good part of the studying damn drugs. Come and see you're gonna put people talk, put you stuck when thing happen, put stuck to them. But starting to come run trench on his drugs, trench on his violence. Where the violence is and that happen there now. Stop that.
The young men who preferred to be off camera said the negative impression given has affected their ability to obtain jobs.
In the back here, we have a lot of potential. There's a lot of potential youths. We might be here, but everybody could do at least something. Who might be a builder, who might sing, who go build boat. Everybody could do something, but we have no backup. So we're making it on we own. And then they just studying us because first thing, when somebody want to employ somebody and they hear Grenville, they hear Trenchtown, they change their mind because hear what they say. People saying this place is not a nice place. And that killing us, and that is the main reason all this going on.
They believe that much more can be done to assist them and guide them as young people rather than judge them from a distance. They are calling on the relevant authority to do what is right and stop the stigma.
Man, the youths and them need to get things, put things for them to pay, put things for them to get occupied, give them jobs, not turn down what they know. What they got to be on the block, what they giving them, what they showing them. Only time they just come around here is when they hear something happen, just like you all. Only when something happen, all they come in. All they could do better than people, the media could do better too. And the police.
Right? Every day, nobody will come in. They just see us here, but what happening and no government don't put in no instructions, not in place over it. The government, nobody don't really studying us in the back here. All they could say is we selling drugs and we like violence. So mean as something happen, they wouldn't come and find out what happened, they would just say things.
They are also asking the public not to judge them based on misunderstood and misleading information. For GBN News, I am Rena Pear-Thomas reporting.
The Royal Grenada Police Force is investigating a video that made the rounds on social media on Monday afternoon involving a student and an officer. The video, recorded by a civilian, shows a young man in a secondary school uniform in verbal confrontation with a police officer. And when the student walked away, another officer intervened. The confrontation then turned physical after one officer was seen slapping the young man across the face. The student was then detained and hauled off by the officers. This is News at 7. Coming up, Grenada Port Authority workers back on the job after agreement between all parties. Stay with us.
Why pay full price for your mobile when you can pay half? Just bundle your home internet and mobile services with Flow and save 50% on your mobile bill. That's money in your pockets every month. Plus now you get free YouTube and WhatsApp data. And you can share your plan with up to 3 other numbers. Upgrade now and get a free smartphone. Switch and keep your number. Learn more at discoverflow.co.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Thinking about your new home? Think easy. Think a Republic Bank Home Easy Loan. Think affordable. Think convenience. Think Republic.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3. Republic makes home easy.
Wow, that was such a breeze.
Own your home with ease.
So whether laying that first brick or purchasing an existing home, we've got you covered. Republic Bank will get you those keys hassle-free in no time.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Drop by any one of our 8 locations today. Getting your new home is easy with Republic Bank.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
The next chapter in West Indies' biggest rivalry continues. West Indies flies against England for the Apex Test Series in 3 test matches. To
Tickets start as low as $20 and local residents enjoy an additional 50% discount with online purchase. Must be fully vaccinated to attend all matches and COVID-19 protocols will be in effect. Secure your seats to the action. Get your tickets in advance at windyscricket.com/tickets. Terms and conditions apply.
Physical violence, threats, controlling behavior, and being disrespectful are no-nos in any relationship. Parenting together after a breakup can be difficult, but always speak and behave in ways you would want your children to speak and act. You cannot control what your ex-partner does, but you can control how you choose to respond to your ex and what behaviors you display to your children. Parents, display behaviors you will want your children to learn. A respectful child begins with you. Step up your parenting game. My family matters.
Here is a little known fact. There is only one place in Grenada that you can get an MRI scan done. That place is Speyside Imaging Center. Yes, Grenada, that's the truth. Other centers could offer you other scans, but Speyside Imaging provides an authentic MRI scan. Here's another little known fact. Speyside Imaging has 3 centers. We operate at Grenville, the Carnage, and at the Ocean House Grandlands. We provide the widest range of laboratory tests and services. CT scans, x-rays, mammograms, ultrasounds, and a host of other services. We are fully staffed by a team of family doctors and specialists. Call us today at 444-7679 or 406-1500 or visit any of our 3 locations. Speyside Imaging, from seeing the doctor to getting lab tests, scans, and pharmacy services. We are here to take care of you.
The Nawasa app brings the power of Nawasa's customer service experience to you. Instant, conversational, and smart. Easy access anywhere. Get bill balance, transaction history for up to 6 months, report a fault, link to websites, view payment centers, contact information, push notifications, and multi-tenant accounts, all in a secure login platform. Like a self-service concierge app, mobile.nawasa.gd gets you the support you need much faster. Available on both Android and iOS platforms. Mobile.nawasa.gd, your customer support companion. Nawasa, committed to meeting customers' needs.
I've been a member of the Arise Credit Union since 2016, and honestly I joined to come out of poverty. What I love most about Arise Credit Union is their support in helping us as members to save. I was in the credit union like a little under a month. The sewing machine that I had went bad and I was in desperate need of, purchasing another. I simply went to speak to my loan officer. I wanted to know details of how to go forward. How do I become qualified to get a loan? And the next thing I knew, she said, how much money do you need? And at that time I needed $7.99. And she said, I'll loan you the money. And from there I purchased the sewing machine, and this is the result. As a young person, we all have those little achievements in the back of our mind that seem so far-reaching. What Ariza encourages us to do is to save. I'm really happy, honestly.
No frills, just great prices, only at Quartz. We don't just talk about it, we've got it. Shop with confidence and save big. Up to 50% off appliances, furniture, electronics, and so much more. Plus, pay with ready finance and get 1 month free. Only at Quartz, bringing value home. Special conditions apply.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Home is 1, 2, 3.
Thinking about your new home? Think easy. Think a Republic Bank Home Easy Loan. Think affordable. Think convenience. Think Republic.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3. Republic makes home easy.
Wow, that was such a breeze.
Own your home with ease.
So whether laying that first brick or purchasing an existing home, we've got you covered. Republic Bank will get you those keys hassle-free in no time.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Drop by any one of our 8 locations today. Getting your new home is easy with Republic Bank.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Welcome back to the news at 7. 47-year-old Teron Jimmy Belfon, a farmer of La Fortune St. Patrick, has been charged for the offense of non-capital murder by intentionally causing the death of 60-year-old Nicholas Duncan of Maday St. Patrick. The charge came following last week's incident, which also led to the death of Duncan's mother, who perished in a house fire. She was 94 years old. Belfon is scheduled to appear at the Sates Magistrates Court at a later date. Meanwhile, in an unrelated incident, the Royal Grenada Police Force has arrested and charged 41-year-old Christopher Brathwaite, steelbender of Hope St. Andrew. He was arrested, formally charged, and cautioned by officers attached to the Criminal Investigation Department for the offenses of rape and indecent assault. Brathwaite is alleged to have committed the offenses on Saturday, 6 November 2021. He was granted bail in the sum of $20,000 with one surety, and as part of his bail conditions, he ought not to have any contact with the virtual complainant. Brathwaite is scheduled to appear at the Grenville Magistrates Court next week, Thursday. A mentally ill man recently accosted a supermarket employee. Police responded and he was shot. An elderly man was murdered and dismembered by someone he knew. Villagers claim that the assailant was mentally challenged. 2 Thursdays ago, a man believed to be mentally ill walked onto a school complex in St. David with a cutlass, allegedly making threats, leaving staff and students severely traumatized. This past weekend, the island was rocked by a murder and stabbing. These are troubling times which have left many people in fear. How should the country deal with this? Let's examine these issues tonight on GBN's Beyond the Headlines program with a 3-member expert panel. Following a meeting last Friday among Labour Minister Peter David, Labour Commissioner Cyrus Griffith, TAU, and management and board of directors of the Grenada Ports Authority, several positives have arisen as of Monday, and workers at the Ports Authority were back at their desks at midday. Gerard Joseph has the details.
It has been confirmed by sources within the Grenada Ports Authority that employees represented by the Grenada Technical and Allied Workers Union have returned to normal operations as of midday on Monday. President General of TAU, Senator Andrew Lewis, says, following a successful meeting with workers on Friday night, more positive came out.
I should also let you know that following our protest taken last week Thursday, 2 other workers were interviewed, and the process and procedure that we are looking for were basically followed.
The outstanding issue surrounded an ongoing FIU investigation into irregularities in the Grenada Ports Authority internal audit, where officers attached to the unit approached workers while on the job to accompany them to assist with investigations. The union leader says the matter is now a work in progress, as the board of directors has indicated to TAU that a response will be forthcoming toward a finalized agreement.
If this has been followed going forward, or similar to that, then everything should be okay. It has to do with how people have been engaged, and not what you are engaged about, as we have indicated from day one. And the workers have reported back to work today as of 1,200 hours, doing that which they really love doing, that is serving the public.
The President General says it is the union's expectations that there will not be a repeat of last week's protests, and there will be a matter of urgency despite no precondition given to the GPA board. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
And now let's turn our attention to what has been creating a buzz on social media. Cherry and Blackman Stephen has been looking around the platforms.
We present the news. You analyze the various topics and distill the issues as they unfold. Your distillation points matter as we're about to highlight them in our Social Buzz Report.
8 Grenadians aboard a cargo vessel that conducts business between Grenada and Trinidad and Tobago accused the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard last Wednesday of assault, which landed one of their colleagues in hospital and in need of surgery. GBN brought you this story, which evoked passionate comments from you, our online audience, including some nationals of the Twin Island Republic. Melissa Campbell says abuse of power by my fellow Trinidadians who were hired to protect and serve. I am sorry that these people went through this, but some of us Trinis need to get our act together on how we treat people. George Joseph said human beings are getting worse based on this video. If there is an unjust cause or an unlawful act was committed, it must or ought to follow with a harsh reward. Swanky Lucky says, I must say I am a Trini and some of these men who are supposed to be representing TNT have us feeling ashamed. Disregard for the uniforms. Vitra Pandey says hold them accountable. I am a Trinidadian, but this is blatant disrespect. Everyone in Trinidad who has a little authority abuses it. I hope you get justice. Not all Trinidadians are this disrespectful. I'm sorry you had to be treated in this manner. Tara Balak says this is heartbreaking to hear how our Caribbean neighbors were treated. Justice must be served. Lynette Brooms Mora says, shame on my country officers. I am embarrassed. Why would we treat people with such hostility? And finally, Joan Pantin says, I am so sorry to hear all these men endured. The International Caribbean Council should get involved in this matter. As a Trinidadian, I am embarrassed. Will anyone in the Caribbean welcome us with open arms when these things happen? I don't care what types of checks must take place. Operate with respect. Other Caribbean island citizens seeing this will not let this pass. Another sad day for us in TNT. And that puts a wrap on tonight's Buzz. Continue to share your thoughts and concerns with us on our social media platforms.
Still ahead, CARICOM and SECA Summit reaffirmed their commitment to strengthening relations. Stay with us.
Just a reminder, the global pandemic is not over. Office Pros and markers are still here to protect you. Available are several versions of touchless hand sanitizer and hand soap dispensers, dispenser stands, paper towel and toilet paper dispensers, and thermometers. Also available, hand sanitizing gel, sanitizing solution, hand soap, Lysol products, face masks, and gloves offered at the best price in the market and backed by a full warranty and protection plan with free installation. We are located on the Woodlands Main Road. Call Office Pros on 444-2393 or markers on 439-2393. You can also visit the Facebook page for more information. And never forget to remember, I, Mr. Markers, would never forsake you. Believe that.
What if there was a place in Grenada that was close to Grand Dance Beach, within walking distance of restaurants and attractions, and you didn't have to pay hundreds of dollars to stay there? Guess what? There is. Look us up.
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform. Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
Looking for a professional team offering around-the-clock, private and confidential nursing, medical care, and aid services? Then look no further. Nurses Care Grenada is a fully certified, insured, and licensed healthcare facility committed to the reduction and eventual elimination of healthcare disparities affecting the nation. Our registered nurses will visit you at your home, assess your condition, and provide the required treatment under the directive of a doctor. So why worry when there's Nurses Care Grenada? Give us a call, 406-3928. Nurses Care, reliable, trusted professionals we can all depend on.
6 p.m. Sunday, March 13th is Bingo Night. Get set for another massive Wacky Virtual Bingo.
And this time you can win
US $10,000. Tickets are only $10 US. In Grenada, tickets are available from numerous box offices island-wide. If you're playing from overseas, tickets are only available at GoToFed.com. Sunday, March 13th.
Come join the fun and excitement online.
Play Waggity Virtual Bingo.
The new way to play.
Bingo!
A whole new level of convenience and comfort awaits you when you shop at Rise and Shine Supermarket and Hardware Supplies, Griffin Lane, Grenville. Convenient, because we are open Sunday to Sunday. We're even at your service on public holidays. Comfort, because we are easily accessible to the physically challenged. Free Wi-Fi is available while you shop, and bags come at no charge. Everyday low prices and excellent customer care. Adequate parking available. We supply everything you can possibly think of. Family and home supplies, fresh meat, vegetables, and personal care products. All brands of cooking gas at affordable prices. You can send in your order, have it pulled, or pick up express.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
Concerned are hereby advised that the Grenville branch of the GUT Cooperative Credit Union will be closed on Tuesday, 8th March, and its Victoria branch on Thursday, 10th March at 2 p.m. respectively. Management apologizes for any inconvenience this closure may cause.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
Why pay full price for your mobile when you can pay half? Just bundle your home internet and mobile services with Flow and save 50% on your mobile bill. That's money in your pockets every month. Plus now you get free YouTube and WhatsApp data. And you can share your plan with up to 3 other numbers. Upgrade now and get a free smartphone. Switch and keep your number. Learn more at discoverflow.co.
Welcome back. A joint declaration has been issued on the 4th Summit of Heads of State and Government of CARICOM and the Central American Integration System, CICA, as officials reaffirm their commitment to strengthening relations, among other things. Jared Joseph has more.
A high-level technical committee of CARICOM and Central American Integration System SICA countries has been established to coordinate and monitor the implementation and evaluation of the CARICOM SICA Plan of Action. Following more than a decade since the last meeting of the heads of the two sub-regions, agreements on integrating climate resilience and pursuing joint advocacy for enhancing access to climate finance were some of the major decisions made at the meeting held last Thursday in Belize. Prior to the joint declaration, CARICOM Chair and Belize Prime Minister John Businio said the efforts to strengthen cooperation and engagement between CARICOM and SICA had been less than satisfactory. The CARICOM noted that considering the common plight faced and many opportunities for collaboration missed, such a status quo must change.
Clearly, much has happened in the world since 2011. The global and regional landscape has changed significantly. Our partnership, therefore, must be strategic. It must deliver more for the peoples of our shared neighborhood.
He said the COVID-19 pandemic has exposed the fragility of development gains among countries in the two sub-regions, pushing too many of the citizens into poverty. Thus recognizing the shared goals of sustainable development, multilateralism, as well as similar challenges of climate change, Businio said without question the case for a closer partnership between CARICOM and SICA is compelling and urgent.
We're equally aware that we live in a neighborhood that is subject to tremendous influence in an era of heightened geopolitical competition. Our shared historical experience teaches us that such geopolitical competition can yet divide us and undermine our development. This must not be allowed to happen. Together we must navigate a path that is grounded in our shared values, promotes the common interest of our people, and operates strategically and independently on the world stage.
The CARICOM chair says the possibilities for inter-regional trade and cross-regional investments are clear and obvious, as the two sub-regions have a collective population of 60 million and collective GDP of 400 billion. This too was recognized during the summit and included in the joint declaration. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
It's now time to take a peek through the GBN ISOR lens.
A good eye captures all. GBN ISOR is brought to you by ClearVision.
Life is beautiful if only you can see it. ClearVision Eye Center helps you do just that. We provide expert service, classy eyewear, and cutting-edge technology, all with a quality customer experience. See better, feel better, and look better. Meet us today at clearvisiongrenada.com or call 444-0055, WhatsApp 409-0055, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. ClearVision Eye Center. Let's see life and the world with a clear vision.
Tonight's ISOR reporter submitted a portrait painting from local artist Jamil Frank. The painting features one of our popular soca artists from the Sister Isle, Sherlyn George, known as Skinny Banton. One of his major accomplishments was entering the final of the 2020 International Power and Groovy Soca Monarch for the first time in the Groovy category. His captivating song Wrong Again was a huge hit throughout Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean. The artist said this is probably the best portrait he has ever done. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
Stay with us, the weather and sports are up next.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business,
for your education,
for your financial freedom,
for that new ride,
a Upgrade your life with the Communal. Contact us today.
Concerned are hereby advised that the Granville branch of the GUT Cooperative Credit Union will be closed on Tuesday, 8th March, and its Victoria branch on Thursday, 10th March at 2 p.m. respectively. Management apologizes for any inconvenience this closure may cause.
Your vehicle insurance should never break your bank. With Beacon, you can get up to 35% off your fully comprehensive car insurance and still get full protection from unexpected damages with free loss of use, windscreen cover, and special perils. When it comes to your insurance, always be sure you settle for more. Call us at 440-4447 or log on to beacon.co.tt and get a quote today.
She was my life, caring for me, loving me from a baby. COVID came and she never left the house. She felt safe there. Just turned 80. She kept saying, "Son, go take the vaccine so you could come and see me. I miss you." And never did. Because I'm young and I'm strong, and people on Facebook say the vaccine don't really protect you. I went to see her because I thought I was fine. I had no symptoms. She was so happy to see me. I had COVID and I did not even know. Being vaccinated would have helped. I just know it. I just know it. I'm so sorry, Granny. I'm so sorry.
This message is brought to you by the Grenada COVID Crisis Group and the Grenadians United in Virginia.
If there was ever a time to keep and stay healthy, it's now. We at Hills and Valley are to help you take deliberate steps to maintain your health. We stayed true to maintaining the most comprehensive rates while stocking the widest range of medicines and health devices, including personal protective equipment. There are so many benefits shopping with us. You get great savings through discounts for senior citizens and reward cards for loyal customers. Ask about owning yours today. Visit us at Halifax and Grenville Street, St. George, Jubilee Street opposite the Grenville Bus Terminal, and at Hillsborough, Carrico. Our wholesale distribution on Halifax Street also stocks the widest range of pharmaceuticals. We are with you on the hills and in the valleys. We are Hills and Valley Pharmacy.
Let's start the new year on a high, a detox high, because it's detox time again at Nirvana Detox Center and Natural Health Store. Check out our many detox packages starting from $100 or get 15% off on colonic irrigation therapy. Detoxing can help with liver and blood cleansing, weight loss, constipation, acid reflux, kidney stones, heavy metal removal, gas and bloating, and more. Call or WhatsApp us on 231-6642, 418-7115, or 449-7753. Ask about our delivery options. Visit us now. Bruce Street Mall, store number 1208, or Belmont St. George's, close to the Fall Edge area. Our opening hours are Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Nirvana Detox Center and Natural Health Store. Detox your way to health. These specials ends on March 31st or while stocks last.
Join GBN Television and K105 FM on March 22nd and 29th from 8 p.m. for the Antillean Life Health Forum, a new focus on health, a collective approach made possible by Antillean Life Insurance, Spice Isle Imaging Center, Gittins Healthcare, Grenada Planned Parenthood Association, Grenada Paper Products, Hubbard's Motor Department, 7 Seas, and the Grenville Credit Union.
sporting fans, we shoot off tonight with basketball. Grenada's Rashida Chidik, playing for Oakland City University in the NCCAA Division 1, has won the divisional championship and is headed for the Nationals. Rashida is one of 3 Grenadian basketballers currently in college in the United States. Chidik, sitting extreme left in the picture shown with Oakland City University, is Regional Champions 2022. Rashida was in preparation at the Sparklers High Performance Center in Guave before heading out for the 2021-2022 season. Other players that trained at the Sparklers High Performance Center are Akeem Robertson, Hakim Simon, Daniel Regis, Letitia Cato, Grenada first pro netball player in the English Super League, Celtic Dragons. The Guave basketball court, according to residents, is in need of urgent repairs and resurfacing as local team Seasoned Sparklers prepares to host the University of Trinidad and Tobago in July. Basketball coach Naka Joseph says the court has been largely maintained by the St. John's Sports Council and Sparklers basketball team for the past 30 years. Infrastructure Minister Narland Cox, during the weekly post cabinet, identified the Guave basketball court as one of the facilities for repairs.
Most of our courts are concrete, and one of the things that we have been doing is assessing the structural integrity. One of the courts that we looked at that may require some resurfacing, I think, is Guave, the one called Bud Peters Park. So we are looking at that. Also, the others, they are mainly more of a cosmetic work that needs to be done on them in terms of painting, doing some acrylic to ensure that the aestheticness and the surface is good for playing. So that is something that is driven by the Ministry of Sports. They would have the priority areas that they would want done. So as soon as they forward those to us, we would implement. That is what we do in that regard. So yes, work is going to be done on the resurfacing of those areas.
Minister Cox, however, noted that their focus for 2022 is lighting up more of the playing fields around the country to provide more access for recreation and training.
In order for persons to get an ample time to train, to recreate, light helps extend that opportunity for persons to utilize those facilities. Hence the reason why we are pushing hard on lighting and upgrading where necessary. We are currently doing some upgrades on Woburn playing field light. We are currently doing some upgrades on Bosseju light as well. So those are some of the things that are happening. And also we have just installed lights at Lassages playing field, which I didn't even mention, which is significant for that community of St. David's, who have been asking for those lights for quite some time. It's a significant project for us, and we are hoping by next week lights should be on for initial testing.
Moving to netball, the Peter David Margaret Dowd netball tournament commenced over the weekend. In Game 1, Bob Simpson Netball Academy defeated Rose Girls 29-7. Pink Panthers won 17-12 over Combined Stars, while Game 3 saw Net Stars outscoring All-Rounders 44-25. Rainbow Girls beat Mount Rush Hot Peppers 25 in their matchup. Sprang's Jet Stars thrashed Yellow Devils 49. And the final match for the weekend went in favor of Dazzles 29-14 over Northerners. And finally in football, Hurricanes remains at the top of the Premier League table following a battle of the Titans over the weekend. Hurricanes got the better hand of the draw against the defending champions Paradise International as the potential tournament decider ended goalless after full time. Sab Spartans won its encounter over Eagles Super Strikers 2-1 as Holden Simon converted in the 34th minute, and Darren Modu scored the winner in the 89th minute despite Jose McIntosh's 64th minute goal. Tristan Charles's 63rd minute goal for St. John's Sports and Rickle Charles' 69th equalizer for Queen's Park Rangers 1969 saw that match also ending in a draw. Each team will play 4 more matches in the Premier League following the midweek matches between Hard Rock and Camahan and Chantamel versus Mount Rich. That's all for tonight's sports news. Regional and international developments are next. Tonight's regional news come from Jamaica, which may see an increase in visitor arrivals due to the Ukraine-Russia crisis, as one government minister anticipates one advantage from the deadly war.
While facing the Standing Finance Committee of Parliament on Tuesday, Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says Jamaica could stand to benefit from changes in some itineraries.
Because of where we're located, we tend to now benefit perhaps from repositioning. For example, with cruise, a number of the large vessels that were in, the Balkan areas and particularly in Ukraine and other areas around Eastern Europe are now being repositioned in the Caribbean. So we will see, a benefit there. The fact that and the North Americans who would normally go to Europe, immediately for vacation, they would want to look to closer destinations such as Jamaica. So while there are some benefits to a cruise, it's not a benefit on which we praise ourselves or we preen or indeed we boast about, because we do not enjoy the benefits from adversities.
Meanwhile, Mr. Bartlett says despite the relaxing of some COVID-19 measures, the resilient corridor model will remain in place locally.
As Russian forces close in on Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, families have been fleeing for their lives as missiles rain down on the outskirts of the city. In one town 20 kilometers from the capital, Kyiv, Russian shelling has claimed many lives, including families and children, as they fled their homes in an attempt to escape the onslaught. Be warned that some of the footage in this BBC report may be hard to watch.
Russian shelling might break Ukraine's will to fight, but not yet. They had to keep moving. Until the last minute, these families had hung on. Leaving your home, even in a war, is a giant step. They're heading towards the capital, still almost untouched, but only about 10 miles away. Ukrainian troops were moving back into Irpin, and this is why its people left. Journalists tried to help the casualties. Family, mother, father, and 2 children were killed by another shell. This was inside the town, Russia's target as it tries to revive its offensive. Civilians are supposed to be protected by the laws of war. Russian shells were very close. Stopping was not an option. I'm okay, she said. Keep going. A disabled man couldn't make it up the steep riverbank on his own. Civilians were in the firing line, but the Russians might have been trying to knock out nearby active Ukrainian artillery. They moved on into the capital. This was a terrible day, but the Russian military is operating on half power. If it can build up full momentum, there will be many days worse than this.
Meanwhile, Ukraine's President Zelensky warned on Sunday that Russian forces are preparing to shell Odessa, a historic port city on the Black Sea coast.
The biggest port city in Ukraine, Odessa is preparing itself for a Russian assault. Residents form a human chain, passing sandbags back and forth, all to help protect their city. Odessa is located on the Black Sea, and after the Russian army took the port cities of Kherson and Mariupol in recent days, taking Odessa would give them total control of the seafront.
If they cut off Odessa, Kherson, Crimea, it means that Ukraine actually turns into a landlocked country. Lots of Ukrainian exports are coming down the south. There was also the discussion about whether they're trying to stretch out the Ukrainian forces, forcing them to also, fight in the south. There is the assumption that after Mariupol, they will carry on and they will be going on to Odessa in order to sort of create this sort of cutting Ukraine off from its basically controls of the sea.
If the Russians were to gain sole control of the Black Sea, they could block all imports heading for Ukraine. A city of strategic importance, the final frontier before taking Kiev. But it's not even a possibility for the inhabitants of Odessa to lie down and roll over. Fishing nets turned into camouflage and Molotov cocktails in their thousands. The city is ready to defend itself.
And finally, a wildfire near South Korea's east coast has burned thousands of hectares of woodland and damaged or destroyed hundreds of homes and other buildings. It started on Friday, and high winds have so far prevented firefighters from getting it under control.
South Korea's Ulsan-gun region in Gyeongsang-do province is still suffering from a massive forest fire since Friday morning, according to the Korea Forest Service on Saturday. The authorities deployed 57 helicopters and over 3,000 firefighters to put the fire out. The fire had spread up north to Samcheok City last night, but the wind is now blowing south to Hanul nuclear power plant in Ulsan. Around 6,000 residents in nearby areas were evacuated, but no casualties have been reported so far. Meanwhile, another forest fire started in Gangneung City last night and has spread to nearby Donghae City. This has caused a nearby highway closure from 8 a.m.
And that's it for a look at what's happening regionally and internationally. Let's go back to Beverly Telesford for a recap of tonight's headlines.
Recapping the headlines, Spice West plans proceeding with strict vaccination mandate. Man in his 50s convicted of capital murder in the death of 15-year-old student 6 years ago. Grenada records second homicide for 2020 following three-way altercation between teenagers. And Trenchtown residents outraged over negative stigma of their community. And the Grenada Port Authority workers back on the job after agreement between all parties. And around the globe in the region, Jamaica could see more tourists from Ukraine-Russia crisis. Internationally, horrific scenes in battle for Kyiv as families killed fleeing Russian onslaught. In sports, Grenadian female basketballer wins divisional championship in the United States. And that's the end of the GBN News for today, Monday, March 7, 2022. If you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us online at gbn.gd or on GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. I'm Beverly Telesford. That's the news. Good night.